What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me for another video. My name is Wak4863, but you can call me Wak. So I never expected to have to do this, but I owe everyone that watches my video a big apology because for the last year, almost the last year to the date, I have been feeding you guys incorrect information. So let's go all the way back to the 26th of October 2022. We received the Age of Sorcery update, and with that update a lot of things changed. We got agility based weapons, we got a revamp to perks, we got a revamp to just all sorts of systems in the game. One of the big changes that came with that patch, and the one we're going to focus on the most, is the change that happened with the Thrall attributes. They changed it to where the Thralls only had strength, agility, vitality, and grit for their attributes. And when this patch came out, I was led to believe that the ranged damage modifier, the hidden modifier for your Thrall, was affecting the agility damage that they were doing. Now there are a few reasons why I thought this, and I'll explain those now. So the first reason why I came to that conclusion is this note here from the patch notes. Archer Thralls and Fighter Thralls now receive base damage bonuses to melee and ranged attacks equally based on their tier. For example, prior to this, Archer Thralls only received a bonus to ranged damage. After this change, they will receive an increase to their melee damage. Fighter Thralls likewise will receive a bonus to their ranged damage. The purpose of this change is to allow Archer Thralls, which have higher agility scores, to deal reasonable damage with agility-based melee weapons, and likewise for Fighter Thralls with ranged weapons. So when I read this, I interpreted that that meant that the ranged damage modifier actually affected the agility-based weapons. And I did actually reach out to someone at Funcom at that time, and I did ask them if the ranged damage modifier affected the agility based weapons, and they said yes. And unfortunately I never tested that theory in game, so I have to apologize for every time I've said this in a video. Now the melee damage modifier is a hidden statistic for Thralls that only affects the damage that they do with strength based weapons. If you're looking for a Thrall to use an agility weapon, then you want to look for a Thrall with a high ranged damage modifier. So like I said, I didn't test it until Xevyr, one of the mod creators for Conan Exiles, actually called me out on this piece of information and told me that I was wrong. And I'll put a link to his Steam workshop in the description of this video. So, for those of you that are wondering where I'm going with this, the ranged damage modifier does not affect your agility-based weapons. And I'm going to show you how I tested that in-game right now. So here we have a Sumerian Berserker that I've renamed Xevyr, and you can see their stats are normal. I haven't leveled them up, and they have a 2.24 damage modifier. Like I said, this is really easy to test. We have our test dummy here. We'll just let him go ahead and hit him with his weapon there. So that is a strength weapon. You can see about the damage that he's doing there. We're going to swap out his weapon for a katana. That's an agility based weapon, and you can see the damage that he's doing there. So now what I've done is I've simply removed his melee damage modifier. And as you can see, the only damage that that NPC is going to take is the damage that the bleed is supplying to that NPC. Otherwise, the Thrall is doing absolutely no damage with a katana. Now, I didn't clear out his ranged damage modifier. So if I just run up to him and I take this away and I give him a bow, he'll actually start doing damage to this character. So we'll wait for him to shoot. There you go. You can see he's shot. We'll watch a couple of more. It's not a whole lot of damage here, but you can see he is definitely doing damage with that bow. Now, what I've done here is I've actually removed his ranged damage modifier. This is the modifier that I felt like was affecting agility. You can see he's shooting this guy with the bow, and it's doing absolutely nothing. But additionally, I also changed his melee damage modifier so that what he actually has is a one-shot build. And he is just using a agility weapon. So this proves the fact that the ranged damage modifier doesn't do anything for an agility based melee weapon. It only affects ranged weapons. And that the melee damage modifier actually affects any melee weapon that you give them, whether it is an agility weapon or a strength-based weapon. Now, you may not think this is a huge deal, but it is to me, because I've been feeding you guys misinformation for at least a year now, and that's a big deal to me. I don't want you guys coming to my channel and getting misinformation. So like I said, I am sorry I've been telling you wrong for the last year, and I promise in the future I'll do a better job of making sure that I test these things as they're changed in game. I hope that you'll forgive me for giving you bad information, and whack that like button on your way out. Let me know if you think there's anything I should double check in a future video. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. If you'd like to become a legend, there's a button that says join on this page. Click that for details. There's 2 videos on the screen. Click one of those to watch next, and I'll meet you over there.